Hey, welcome back to Cobb's Q. I'm Kevin Cobb, and we're glad you're joining us today as we do our Elote Mexican Street Corn in 2 ways. Hey, this is the perfect time as we get ready for football and we want to do tailgates, and you're looking for food that you can make very easily out in the parking lot. Today we're going to do the big green egg and the Traeger because we're at home, but you can easily translate this to using just a grill out at the football game. So there's nothing better than going to the ball game. I love taking my boy out there and then also having good food. Again, this is very easy and it is amazing. Now to get the corn ready, I'm also going to use some Kerrygold butter and 3 cloves of garlic minced up. Since I'm at home today, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to wrap the corn in cellophane. I'm going to throw it in the microwave on high for 6.5 minutes since I have 8 cobs of corn. What this allows me to do is to be able to take the corn out to the egg and I can be done in about 10 minutes instead of taking 20 to 30 minutes to cook the corn. So it's just a little cheat to make it quicker when I'm outside. And also bringing the egg and the Traeger up to the desired temperatures. 250 for the Traeger, 400 to 450 on the egg. It really doesn't matter. As I said before, we're going to do this in 2 ways. We're going to do it on the cob on a stick, but we're also going to do it in a cup. And I'm telling you, that is my favorite way, hands down. Because not only are we going to put the elote corn in a cup, we're going to make jalapeno poppers to top it off. And oh, it's out of this world. So come join us today as we do Elote Mexican Street Corn in 2 different methods. All right, we're gonna go ahead and prepare the jalapenos to go ahead and make our poppers that are gonna go to the elote corn. When I do this, I like to take the jalapeno side that's got the stem coming up. I think it just makes a better presentation. What we're gonna do, take a knife and we're gonna come right down the tip, but we're not gonna cut all the way through. And then I'm gonna take the knife and I'm gonna go back into the hole and come all the way up to the top of the jalapeno and just carefully open that up. Once I've got this opened, I'll take the back of a spoon and I'm carefully going to just pull out the membrane and the seeds. Remember, the seeds isn't where the heat is. The membrane is what contains the heat. So we're just very carefully going to pull that out. And we'll pop our jalapeno and set that aside. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to complete this for the remaining jalapeno peppers. Now that we have our jalapenos ready, we're going to go ahead and put them on the Traeger at 250 degrees for about 30 minutes. All that's going to do is soften these up so that we can easily fill them with cream cheese without splitting them in half. So let's go put them on the Traeger. All right, 30 minutes have passed. Let's go ahead and pull the jalapenos off. They should be softened at this point, which is going to allow us to get the filling set up. All right, first thing we want to do is go ahead and make our filling for the jalapeno poppers. And with that, I'm going to use about a cup of the Philadelphia cream cheese. I got softened cheese today. It just makes it a little bit easier for what we're going to do. I'm going to take about half a cup of Mexican cheese. Had 3/4 cup there, so we're going to wait with that. And if we need more, then we'll put more on it. And then finally, I'm going to put a half a tablespoon of Texas barbecue, or excuse me, it's actually called Texas Sugar by Meat Church. We're going to get in here and get this together real well, incorporate it. Now let's go ahead and fill one of these jalapeno peppers. So this made it nice and pliable since we put them on the Traeger. You simply take a spoon and we're going to get the cream cheese down inside of it. And I may need to make my gloves dirty here in a moment because... Okay, we're going to set that aside and we're going to go ahead and fill the rest of every one of these. All right, now that we've got them filled up, we're going to go ahead and take some bacon. I like to use thin sliced bacon for this just because it cooks a little faster with the poppers. We're just going to go ahead and wrap this all the way up the popper. Pin it back in. And once again, we're going to finish the rest. All right, now that we finished, we're going to go ahead and sprinkle these with a little bit of this Texas sugar by Meat Church again. Oh, we're going to sprinkle a lot. And then set these aside to go onto the Traeger. Okay, so again, I like to put stem side up. Go ahead and lay these back into the Traeger for 90 minutes at 250. And while these are preparing, we're going to go ahead and start getting ready to make the elote corn, which these will go inside of. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our corn, we're going to place it on the big green egg, rolling 400, 450, and we're going to infuse it with butter garlic sauce that we went ahead and heated upstairs. So let's get this on the egg and get going. And each time we put these on, we're going to go ahead and put a little butter garlic on them. Just infuse the flavor throughout the entire cook. Okay, to go ahead and make the Elote Mexican Street Corn, we're going to need some mayo. We use Dukes. We're going to use a full cup of Dukes. We're going to use a half a cup of La Crema. We're going to use Cotija Cheese, and we'll crumble this up in a moment. And we're going to finish it off with a little Tajin, a little bit of the Chipotle chili powder. We also got freshly chopped up cilantro, and then we're going to sprinkle just a little bit of the Cholula. Now, that's one version. We have a second version. The second version, we're going to go ahead and combine all this together and throw something special in with it. All right, we're going to go ahead and mix up a little of the cotija, and this is really easy. All we're going to do is take a little bit out of the bag and simply crumble it up with our fingers. That's the beauty of this cheese. It is very, very, very easy to prepare for this dish. So every few minutes, we're going to rotate the corn, and then we're going to baste it with that butter garlic sauce that we've made and just drizzle it on here. And oh, the smell is amazing coming off of the egg. Just keep going until we get that beautiful char look on the corn. All right, so we're at least going to go ahead and prepare to make the corn that's going to be on a stick. We're going to use 1 cup of Dukes, and we're going to use half cup of La Crema. We're just going to mix this together real well to be able to rub on the corn. We're going to go ahead and pull the poppers, and we're going to get the corn ready. So the corn is ready. Let's pull these off. Oh, they look good. They got nice char on them. It's exactly what we're looking for. We're doing 8 today because we're doing these in 2 different ways. And take a stick. We're going to shove a stick right down the center. We're going to do that to 4 of these. And corn comes off so nice. They just shove right through. And once we have this on, we're going to go ahead and bring over a little bit of our mayo and La Crema. And just push this on. Rub that in. And we'll make that nice and smooth. We're going to take some of our Cotija cheese. Sprinkle that right over the top. We're going to make a mess, but that's okay too. Do that right over the cheese bowl. That'll be smarter. Take a little bit of the cilantro. Drop a little cilantro on there. We're going to take a little bit of our McCormick's chili powder. Sprinkle a little bit of chili powder here and there. We just want to get a little color on it because we're also going to hit it with Tajin. We're going to take our Tajin. Sprinkle a little bit of this right over the top. Gives it that lime flavor too. And then lastly, we're going to take a little bit of our Cholula and we'll just sprinkle a little bit of this here and there just to give a little flavor pop. And then that is ready for our tailgate fun. All right, now that we finished one side of the corn, we're going to go ahead and start adding some of the cheese directly to our mayonnaise and La Crema mixture, and we're going to mix this in until we get a really good consistency here. We'll set that aside, and now we're going to start cutting the corn off the cob. So let's go ahead and cut the corn off the cob. We're just going to bring it straight down on everything. Now I'll say for very, very large parties, I've cheated, and I've just used extremely large cans of corn and heated them up in the kitchen, and they don't get the char, but I've not had anybody disappointed with the meal. Okay, we finished the last piece of corn. Let's get all the goodness in there. And now we just want to mix this up and make sure everything is fully incorporated. If we need to add more cream,
mayonnaise, cheese. We're gonna do so at this point in time. And I'm also gonna give it just a quick taste test to make sure the flavor that we're looking for is there. It's good. It needs a little bit more cheese. Try that once again. That's the flavor. That is exactly the flavor I'm looking for. All right, and we're going to prepare these for people to enjoy. We take a cup. Take your spoon. Dish some of this goodness inside of the cup, about 1/4 of the way. Take a little bit of your cilantro and sprinkle it in there. Take a little bit of your chipotle, sprinkle that right on top. Little Tajin, sprinkle that right on top. A little bit of the Cholula around the edges for presentation. And then we're going to come in and do it again. And take a little bit of our cilantro right up on top. Take a little bit of Tajin. A little bit of the Chipotle chili powder. Take a little bit of the Cholula. And then we bring a jalapeno popper over and finish that off with a jalapeno popper. All right, I'm joined with my daughter today as we do our tailgate for the Elote Mexican Street Corn 2 ways. One on the cob, one in the cup. Meg, pick your favorite.
I'll go for this one.
Go for that one. All right. Got to find out how this tastes. Cheers.
Very tasty.
Flavors are great, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the Tajin.
Tajin adds that little lime flavor to it as well. It's really good. I'm going for a cup. Cup has 2 things that I love. First off, it has the corn. More importantly, jalapeno popper. There's nothing wrong with a jalapeno popper. A little street corn in a cup. That's a freaking amazing flavor in a cup. Now, if you're at a tailgate and standing out there looking for good food, want a good appetizer to go along with the dogs or brats or whatever you might be cooking, try this. I think you're going to be really happy. What do you think of the flavor?
I like it.
What do you like best?
I'm a Tajin person. I like the Tajins.
Hey, thanks again for joining us today as we did our Mexican Elote street corn. It was really great having my daughter here today to enjoy this with us and just share this recipe with her, as well as my son, who wasn't on camera today. This is something you can easily throw together for any backyard barbecue or again for a tailgate. I mentioned earlier that if you have a very large party, you can use canned corn, and for numerous occasions when people have said, hey, look, we've got 30 people, we got 40 people coming over, can you make your corn? There's no way I'm going to do it on the cob. But I'll take 4 or 5 of the very large cans of corn, go ahead and cut those out and just steam them on the stove, and then go ahead and mix in with the butter and the garlic and get that incorporated. And then I'll go ahead and follow the same principles with 2-to-1 mayonnaise to La Crema, and then add in the cheese until that flavor is there. Once that's there, you can very easily make as many jalapeno poppers as you want and take the other ingredients and throw them together, and people are going to be very happy. So take a moment and like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think of this. Let us know if you've tried this and what your thoughts are. And more importantly, thanks for taking time out of your day to come join us. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.